welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Connie. And it's fall, so we are doing a pumpkin spice recipe. We're doing a pumpkin coffee cake. And one of the key players in this is not only pumpkin, but also a pumpkin spiced collagen blend from Ancient Nutritions. And actually, that's where I got the recipe from. So in this bowl, what I've got is our topping mixed up. And it consists of a half a cup of Connie's baking mix and a half a cup of our monk fruit allulose, the golden sweetener, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of sea salt, a half a cup of coconut oil, a half a cup of walnuts, and a half a cup of pepitas. And we're going to put this on top of the cake. So we're going to mix up our cake, and in it we've got 2 cups of our gluten-free Connie's baking mix. We got a teaspoon of baking powder. We have a teaspoon of baking soda. We have half a teaspoon of sea salt. I put a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice and 2 scoops of our pumpkin spice bone broth powder. So we're going to throw in 2 eggs. We're going to put in a can of our pumpkin puree. So you just buy the plain pumpkin at the grocery store. Now if you want to get really fancy, cook your pumpkin down. I don't care, but I'm going with a can. The only ingredient on this can is pumpkin, so I don't know that I can go wrong with that. And we're going to put a half a cup of coconut, or the monk fruit allulose, the golden. This original recipe actually had coconut sugar in it, but I'm using the monk fruit allulose golden instead of coconut sugar, so that we can kind of cut back some on the carbohydrates. And then we're going to use a half a cup of Greek yogurt, and I've got my Fage 2% here. We're going to start mixing this all up. We're also going to do, let's see, 1/4 of a cup of coconut oil. And because it's warm in the room, my coconut oils are already liquid, so this is pretty easy to handle. Coconut oil, the interesting thing about it is if it's warm and it's above 70 degrees in the room, you're going to have liquid oil. Once it gets below 70, that's going to be solid again. But that saves me a step of having to melt it. And we need a teaspoon of our, remember, pure vanilla. We don't use any imitation around here. So a teaspoon of vanilla. So we're just going to mix this really good. I've got my 9 or 8 by 8 pan there. Now throw this in the pan. Look at that nice orange color. You're going to get a lot of vitamin A in this recipe. This recipe is just going to be chock full of nutrients. So it'd be a great way to start your morning. You're going to have that extra protein because you got the protein powder in there, plus you got the Greek yogurt, which is high in protein. So it'll be a really good way to start. All right, so we're going to put this on hold while I get this thrown in the oven. We'll throw this in the pan, we'll top it, and we'll throw it in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, and then we'll be back. Hey guys, we're back. This is our results. Look at this beautiful pumpkin color here. All of the nutrients there with the pumpkin seeds and the walnuts. This is going to be a delicious fall treat for you with a lot of nutrition involved in it. So remember that you want to like and you want to share and you want to subscribe. And when you make this one, we found that it got a little bit dark on top, so maybe put a little foil over it for the first 20 minutes. We cooked it for about 40 minutes at 350 degrees. So just a few tips when you're making it, and I'll put that in the comment section when I do the recipe so that you're a little bit more in tune to how to do this. But this is going to be a great breakfast for this fall. So remember this week to make some good choices and maybe add a little pumpkin into your diet.